Welcome in. Welcome in. We are here for some debates. We're on the backup, and we're here for some debates. So what that means is I need everyone locked in. Need everyone doing all the wonderful things. Send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll help boost the live, push us out to the FYP. I have the love you very much. It's the one little 1 cent goal. I'm going to keep resetting that. And again, that'll help push us out to the FYP as well. We are on the backup, so I need everyone locked in for me if you don't mind. So we can do all the wonderful things, right? So we can get some debates going. So if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. We're going to go ahead and get it kicked off, started here in just a second. Tap the screen, guys. As soon as we get up to 8,000 likes, we will go ahead and open up the panel. But in the meantime, in between time, let's kick it off right.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring.
Can you guys hear the music? You can hear the music, right?
Better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts like lies, get left in shame. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know yourself or you get
Thanks, Frank.
Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat. You talk slick, but you ain't got source. Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force.
What?
I'm the test,
What?
the trap,
What?
the trip,
What?
the call.
What?
You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Hey.
Step in if you dare. You dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air.
Yeah, B2E, I don't care what you're saying in the chat. Getting a request. As a matter of fact, I'm sending you a request right now and I'm muting you. I legitimately don't care what you say in the chat. Sorry.
Step in, don't you wanna sparring with Santana. Step in there, you care. Hit hard like a punch in the air.
Ain't no
rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed.
Step in, don't you wanna sparring with Santana? Yeah.
This ain't a safe place.
Yeah.
This a flame space.
Step in,
don't you wanna
sparring with Santana? Hello. Welcome in, beautiful people. Welcome. Hey guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you're someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We're not looking to speak with friendlies. We're only looking for some debates. Donald, are you a Trump supporter?
I am, yeah.
Wonderful. Donald, we're going to get it started here. But before we get too far into the weeds, got a question for you. Do you know who I am?
Santana.
That's actually accurate, but more so, not only do you know who I am, but do you know what like this is as a whole?
Yeah, Santana politics.
Kind of. You mind if I give you like a proper introduction to not only who I am, but what this is?
Yeah, please.
Sure. Give me 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this? Guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you're someone that supports Donald, Jimothy Trump, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We're not looking to talk to friendlies. That'll be later this evening for late nights, which is back. So if you are a friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up as well, guys. This is the backup. So I need everyone completely locked in, doing all the wonderful things. I'm going to keep resetting this daily gift goal to these little 1-cent goals. It'll help push us out to the FYP to get more people in here. Right now, it's the little chili peppers. If we can knock those out, also send your daily heart me 1 coin. That'll help boost the live as well. And also, if you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted, anything's appreciated, just like Marie. Thank you so much for the $1.11 donation, Marie. To say, why did the pistachio refuse to fight? Because it didn't want things to get nuts. I got them all day. Thank you for that, Marie. I really appreciate it. And if you're over on the tube, what up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? If you're over on the tube and you want to support the live, you can do so with a super chat, and I will read that out. All right, Donald, sorry for the long introduction, but that's who we are, where we are, what this is. Donald, got a general question for you. As a Trump supporter, as MAGA, as someone who supports the right, why are you someone that doesn't believe in the First Amendment? Or at the very least, why are you someone willing to actually give up the First Amendment?
You're saying the First Amendment? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it kind of goes back historically, but to answer our quite briefly, it'd be just because I do believe, and there's substantial evidence to actually verify this claim, that all people on the left are reptilians. And because of that...
Okay, Donald, we're not going to do like the jokey joke troll stuff. Like, if you really want to engage, you can, but if...
No, that's genuine.
There's no way you're being genuine.
I am...
At the very least, that's not something that you can talk about on TikTok, because it will get you taken down for misinformation. So to protect your live and to protect your account and my live as a whole, we're not going to be talking about that. Like, we can't do that.
Well, that was the crux of my argument.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to engage with you saying that people are reptiles. Would you like to actually talk about the First Amendment right and anything that's occurring? Because there's multiple things that are occurring with the First Amendment, and we can talk about the debacle that is Jimmy Fallon, right? With the right actually oppressing the freedom of speech in multiple ways, and it backfiring on him. We can talk about U.S. troops. I mean, like, Pete Hegseth specifically sent out a notice saying that he wanted to target or actively look for people who were saying anything negative about Charlie Kirk. And so far, there's 5 service members that have been put on leave and are under investigation just for saying things negative about Charlie Kirk. We could talk about teachers across the United States being fired or put in jeopardy because they won't just say positive things. We can talk about the fact that the right has started this whole DOXX type situation where if people say something they don't like, they're literally trying to expose them. Or we can talk about how, the people on the right, for some reason, like to do the reporting thing on TikTok, and it's weird. And like, I don't know. We can talk about any of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem talking about those things. The only problem is that, like, can I reference back at all to the other thing I said? Mm-hmm. Well, then I'm going to have a hard time explaining this then.
Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, I'll let you go, but we can't talk about that because, again, you're going to get taken down for misinformation, and I don't want that to affect my life. So
I got you. Can we just say, like, lizards?
No.
All right, fine.
All right. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Guys, if you are interested in coming up and having a debate, get in the box. Get in the box. I'm sorry. I can't do conspiracy theories. That's not feasible. We're not going to do that. We're not. Yankee, are you a Trump supporter?
I am, yes. I'm a Trump supporter. But I mean, if we can talk about the what you were just previously talking about, host, I'd appreciate that. Completely
not the lizards, right?
Yeah, I'm just talking about Jimmy Kimmel, First Amendment.
Oh, okay, good. I wanted to talk about the actual background, not the lizard. All right, perfect. So let's get into it. What's your premise? I mean, like, why is it that as someone on the right, someone that's a Trump supporter, you are willing to give up your First Amendment right? Like, I'm a little bit confused about this.
Well, it's not that we're giving up the First Amendment right. It's that these people are working for school systems, public education, public health. You have people such as Jimmy Kimmel who works for ABC. ABC are the ones that pulled Jimmy's program. That was ABC's decision. He worked for them. So if you have a teacher who is spewing things that are celebrating somebody's unaliving, you're going to have a school system have that reflect on back onto the school system. You're setting the precedent. You're the face of the company you work for. You represent them in your personal life as well. So I would say that, you know, it's not quote unquote right-wing people that are actually encouraging this, except it's companies holding their workers accountable because they reflect the company. Especially if you have the company in your Facebook bio and then you're celebrating someone's unaliving, you might reflect your company in that way.
Okay. So this is where we disagree, right? Because I mean, I do agree in the sense that private entities have the ability to police themselves and make whatever decisions they want to make. Now, the difference with this comes in the fact that with this entire Jimmy Kimmel situation, there was pressure directly from the FCC, right? The head of the FCC, Brendan Carr, is the one that actively went out and not only said directly to Disney and Cox that they need to do something about Jimmy Kimmel, but he said that if they don't, then the FCC will get involved and they will pull the licenses agreement. So while I do agree that it's up to individuals and also their employers to control, like, you know, whatever rhetoric that comes across, whatever the case may be, the federal government put their finger on the scale with this one and actually went after Jimmy Kimmel.
Again, I would still point that back to ABC. Though I mean, they may have felt pressure from the FCC, but they could have won a lawsuit in court because of a First Amendment right, like easily.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel, that wouldn't be ABC. It would be Jimmy Kimmel that would have to actually sue and win that lawsuit. But let me ask you this, because this is something super interesting. And I've been talking about this for a while. Do you know why these media companies are so willing to, whenever Donald Trump keeps suing them, they've been so willing to actually just settle instead of taking it to court?
I'd like to see your stance on that.
Yeah, it's because the Trump administration has been taking a two-pronged approach. And when I say a two-pronged approach, I mean Donald Trump is actually suing these media companies and tying them up in the court system, which of course costs a ton of money, but also Brendan Carr, again, the head of the FCC, has specifically been targeting them and trying to pull their license agreements, which once you do that, not only can you not broadcast in certain areas, but you also can't sell those local broadcast stations. That's a big part of the revenue for these larger companies, selling those smaller broadcast companies. And so when you have someone who is costing you a ton of money by going to court, and then at the same time you have you're unable to actually generate more revenue, then it becomes more responsible for you to just settle versus actually trying to pursue this. This is something that's a little bit unprecedented because, again, you've never had an FCC chair actively working with the president of the United States to target specific media companies to get them to do what he wants.
So I agree and disagree with you. And I think what the only disagreement I'm having right now is, like, does the FCC have rules? Is there rules and regulations for a license?
Yeah, there are. But see, the thing is, the actual rules and regulations are set by the FCC. It's a direction-driven position. And normally the issue with not only the FCC, but you can take a look at HHS, you can take a look at, the head of intelligence, like the head of FBI. Normally, you get people who are placed in these positions, and while they may have like partisan leanings, they don't actually normally actually do their job to their leaning, right? I'll give you a great example. You know who Merrick Garlick is, right?
It sounds familiar, but I'll be honest, I don't.
No worries.
Yeah.
So Merrick Garlick was supposed to be a Supreme Court justice. Barack Obama wanted to appoint him as a Supreme Court justice, but Mitch McConnell decided that he did not want to go through approvals and held that Supreme Court justice spot, which then gave Donald Trump his first appointee for the Supreme Court. And Merrick Garland actually ended up being the head of the DOJ, right? Under Joe Biden. And he's someone that the left absolutely disdains. And the reason being is because even when he was appointed by Joe Biden, he was responsible for the investigation into Donald Trump as far as like January 6th and all this other stuff. And what he did, instead of him actually, you know, going full tilt into what everyone was saying, right? He took his time, he slow walked it, and then he got to a point where even though Donald Trump was going through court and all this other stuff, he got to close enough to becoming a candidate where they had to make a decision to like not sentence him until after the election and all this other stuff. Anyway, long story short, he is the big reason why Donald Trump was able to get back to the White House, because he slow walked his position and he kept it apolitical instead of leaning into it. But you have people that Donald Trump has put in place now, like Kash Patel, like Pam Bondi, who, like Tulsi Gabbard, who literally do exactly what Trump wants them to do and pursues it as in a political way, which is not something that should happen at all. That's the difference. And so when you get those figureheads at the top who are supposed to be apolitical, even though they have a political leaning, it's supposed to be checks and balances, but we're in an age now where they don't care about that.
And I can agree with you on a lot of that as well. I do kind of want to ask you, though, in regards to indecency and profanity, you know, like the FCC can prohibit the broadcast of indecent or profane material, especially when, you know, children may be viewing the material. And they cited the reason as him referring to MAGA as like that, which I'm not MAGA, by the way. I am a conservative, but I'm not part of the MAGA cult. I do believe it is a cult, but that is not me. But referring to them as the MAGA gang, do you think that there is indecency in saying that people are trying to politically exploit the death of a conservative activist, or were they actually just trying to honor or make in remembrance of Charlie Kirk? You know, does that count as would that count as indecency?
No. Indecency would be lewd behavior, extreme graphics, things like that. But the right is the one that's literally trying to publicize it, like, or politicize it. Like, I don't know if you have been paying attention to any of the rhetoric since it happened, but people like Pam Bondi, who at every turn has not only mentioned that, oh, we're going to use this to go after hate speech, but she continues to parrot the point, donate to Turning Point. Everyone needs to get to Turning Point. We need the youth Turning Point, right? They've literally continued to politicize this at every instance. And also, quick question, how do you feel about what Brian Kilmeade said?
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't gone that deep into it. I've been, I'd like to hear it from the other side, though, and kind of see, because it's going to help me further my research on this whole topic with Jimmy Kimmel. I did want to ask you about how
what Jimmy Kimmel actually said.
I do have it saved. Let me see if I can. I know he referred to.
Let me play it for you.
Go ahead if you want to. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, so I want to play this for you, and then I have something else that I want you to hear as well. So give me 1 second, okay? So this is what Jimmy Kimmel said, right?
Some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this. Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief: construction, demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
Okay. So that was Jimmy Kimmel. Now, I want to play one other thing for you. And this is Brian Kilmeade, right? Do you know who Brian Kilmeade is?
I don't know.
Okay, so he works on Fox News at Fox and Friends. He is someone that Donald Trump heavily leans on and listens to and all this other stuff. And this is what he actually said.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now. Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Okay. So that was Jimmy Kimmel, who had the comments about the quote unquote MAGA gang and all this other stuff. But then that was Brian Kilmeade, who said that we need to give unhoused people lethal injection if they don't take if they don't accept the help as far as like rehab. So Yankee,
yeah, I think that's extreme. I think that's very extreme, and I think that it's I don't think it was right for him to say that. As I'm digging into this, though, they're saying that the FCC licenses must avoid news distortion and uphold standards that serve their communities responsibly.
Sure, but take a step
so
back.
There's something about
we can go through that, but I want to stick on what you just heard for half a second. There were no repercussions or consequences from what Brian Kilmeade said, and also, well, there were repercussions and consequences, just not from Fox, just not from the FCC. But right after he said that, there were two encampments full of unhoused people that were shot up in Minnesota, two of them in the same day, right after he made those comments. So his comments had actual real world implications where people were injured and harmed in multiple ways, versus Jimmy Kimmel, who hurt the feelings of certain people on the right. You don't see the dangers in that, and also the hypocrisy in it.
No, I definitely do, and I think the standard should be held across the board. I don't think it should just be who it helps politically more. I think it should be the same standard across the board, and I'm hoping that after this presidency, we have more bipartisan and more teamwork in Congress and in the White House. However, could you play Jimmy Kimmel's clip in its entirety again? I'm just trying to see. I want to connect this news distortion, and I'm wondering. I'd have to play it again, but I'm pretty sure he was trying to. I
can definitely play it again. One thing I'll say is, so I did cut out like a few seconds in the middle, and the only thing I can play the whole thing. It's a minute, but the only thing is he referenced Donald Trump and what Donald Trump said. You know what? That's fine. I'll play the full minute part. Let me just read these off real quick, and then I'll get to it. W's in the chat from Feisty. Feisty sent a $25 donation saying, because you're awesome and I love you. Feisty, you're way more awesome and I love you too. Thank you so much for that $25 donation. W's in the chat for cousin Jesse. What up, cousin Jesse, who sent a $3 donation saying, dog, this is a Klan rally. I mean, a funeral for CK. It was crazy yesterday. I've never seen anything like that in real life, only in movies. I'm so concerned about young white people who will go in droves to T-Pusha because he's being unalive. I don't know who T-Pusha is, but W's in the chat for cousin Jesse. Yeah, like I saw that the propaganda that was being spewed and the way that they actually went about it, it was absolutely wild. W's in the chat for I think it's pronounced. Oh, Osiris over on the tube is in a $19.99 super chat to say, glad to catch your lives. Here's to a good debates and no more lizards. You're right. No more lizards. Thank you so much for that $19.99 super chat. W's in the chat for Patty, who sent a $10 super chat Canadian with a sticker. Super cool. Thank you. W's in the chat to 1B Carey, who sent a $15 super chat to say, can we please address the Department of Education partnering with Turning Point USA and the Heritage Foundation to create mandatory civics curriculum? This is true indoctrination? Yes, it is. We're going to talk about that, but like it's absolutely mind blowing that we're allowing them to. We'll get into it, but W's in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Anything's accepted. Everything's appreciated. Guys, this is the backup account. This is the backup account. So one, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, and if you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit the follow button. Make sure you're following this account. Let's do all the wonderful things to actually help get more push. And last but not least, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. Get in the box if you're a Trump supporter. We are only looking for some debates. All right, I'm gonna play that video for you.
You don't even have to, because I got the actual sentence. So you don't have to if you don't want to. So
no, your call.
Yeah. So like and I appreciate you being so respectful and having an open platform where it's respectful dialogue, man. We don't get much of that anymore, sadly. But it's the part where he referred to the MAGA, quote unquote, GANG. I don't know if we can say that on TikTok.
Yeah, MAGA gang.
And the reason is showing as if it wasn't one of our own, or if it wasn't somebody from MAGA that caused the pew-pewing. And that's how they viewed that, as distorting the news from what actually happened and trying to label a group of people as the people that caused this atrocity. So, I mean, would you not say that's distorting? Like trying to make people believe something that may or may not be true?
I think it's speculation, but also I think it's satire, right? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian, and his late night show leans heavily on entertainment and also comedy. And so actually using those choice words to insinuate like that the right is trying to disown him and put association with other people is kind of something hard to believe. I mean, we can talk about the fact that his grandmother, did you hear the quotes from his grandmother?
Whose grandmother are you referring to? I'm sorry.
Tyler, whatever the guy's name
No,
is,
I did.
person.
I have not seen the quotes from his grandmother. No.
Yeah. So his grandmother is on record in saying that they are Trump supporters. His family, she said her and her son, which is his dad, are Trump Republicans, and they don't even know any Democrats. And
actually,
so,
I did hear about this, and then, but his parents said something completely different about him going off to a university and being indoctrinated, or quote unquote, transformed into an extremist, and did live with his trans partner. So
yeah, that hasn't been substantiated as far as the actual partner being trans, or
we do have the text
being transgender.
We do have the text.
No, I mean those. Yeah. The one thing that I'll say about those text messages is that a lot of people, including professionals, have broken down the text messages, and there is a little bit of, I would say, pushback on the text messages because of the dialect, the temperament, the tone, as far as how younger people communicate, or even some of the other messages from Tyler and how he communicates. And basically there's some skepticism around that. I won't say that it's not the text from him, but I will say that there's a lot of questions around that. And also the actual quote unquote transcript of the text have been put out, but not the actual text messages, which is interesting to me as well. But I digress.
Sure. Well, how do you feel about his partner actually speaking with the FBI and being quote unquote, what's the word?
Again, it hasn't been substantiated that they were partners. The only thing we know for sure is that was his roommate. And I mean, yeah, like, why not? I would think that the roommate should cooperate if they have any type of information. Like, as far as what happened, and as far as like there being any type of repercussions, I mean, like, I do agree that if you have the opportunity to, put the person who took Charlie Kirk's life behind bars, or whatever the case may be, they should see justice. So anyone that has the opportunity to cooperate, yeah, okay. But
he's cooperating, but he's also admitted that they were partners.
Yeah, that's not true. That hasn't been substantiated.
We have systemic. I mean, how are you disproving the text messages as not being like, substantial?
Well, again, I just told you that there's questions around the text messages, right? The questions being people who are they're experts in language and actually breaking down these forms of communication. They're questioning the legitimacy of the actual communication. And then also, again, there's only a transcript of the alleged text messages. There is no actual documentation of the text messages. So it's not like they put out like screenshots of the messages. They just put out transcript of saying this was the back and forth exchange between them.
Okay, understood. And then last thing before I have to go to a meeting, we can have I'm good for about 5 to 7 more minutes. How do you feel about when? Because like I again, remember I said the standard I believe should be held across the board, like for everybody, right? And I don't agree with unless there's like significant evidence to where it was quote unquote distorting the media. I mean, I would still think that that's kind of misleading to say it was from one group, just like you're saying it's misleading for me to assume that Tyler was a part of a group as well, right? You know, so I mean, I still think that
no,
could
I'm
be
not saying that's
distorting when
misleading
it
from
comes
you.
to
I'm just
Jimmy
saying,
Kimmel.
I'm just saying that you don't have that actual information. That's not true because it hasn't been substantiated. But again, the point with Jimmy Kimmel and his actual what he said, the issue is that one, he never said that. Yes, this person that took his life is absolutely MAGA or something like that. He said that they're doing everything in their power to distance themselves as if he's anything but one of them. And then also, again, we do understand that this is satire, right? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel is not Walter Cronkite. He's not reporting the news. He's literally a comedian with a late night TV show who a large part of his actual premise is entertainment. And so understanding that there is, it's not the same burden that there would be, at least in my opinion, to hold someone breaking or reporting news as a late night host. So, I mean, those are.
But I mean, he may not be, and you know, right? It could have been satire, but a lot of people that are watching it may not have taken it as satire, may have seen it as disrespectful or quote unquote distorting because he's labeling again a group of people, which we've already seen what hateful rhetoric can do.
Yeah, well, but see, this is where it's dangerous, right? People on the right are holding this type of energy and premise for Jimmy Kimmel, and I just played that actual quote from the sound from Brian Kilmeade, and there's nothing coming from the right about that, right? And that literally resulted in actual violence, but even more so, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is spreading misinformation and disinformation at the fastest rate that we've ever seen. He's actively out pursuing information that's not true, that he knows is not true. And his actual rhetoric is harmful to multiple people, specifically his active approach trying to target the transgender community. That's why he spent $215 million on misinformation and disinformation on his campaign for anti-trans ads. And that's why he's trying to do things like even figure out ways to take away transgender people's right to the Second Amendment. So like all of this is even worse than what, Jimmy Kimmel said.
And then one more thing before I have to go, which I don't have time to get back into that, but I will give you a follow because I did enjoy talking to you today. And again, thank you so much for the respect and everything like that. Would you hold the same standard when, Joe Biden was in the White House and he pressured, and Mark Zuckerberg confirmed this, that the Biden administration actually repeatedly pressured the company to censor COVID-19 content, including satire. And he also pressured other social media outlets, and they even banned Donald Trump off of Twitter and Facebook because of his
those
quote
are
unquote
two separate things.
So
those are two separate things.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
The first one,
but it's still the First Amendment, right? I just want to make sure.
Well, no, not the second one. The first one. So this is what I'll say. They didn't actively go after, the Biden administration didn't actively go after any social media company and force them to do anything. But they did ask if they could take down any misinformation, disinformation. And this was around a worldwide pandemic and people were literally losing their lives. That's why people were actively taking, ingesting bleach and taking ivermectin, which is heart dewormer, and it was causing people to lose their lives. And when you talk about the actual issue of the things that people are saying and it caused people to lose their lives, then I don't think that is still covered under the First Amendment. And even Pam Bondi just said the same thing recently about hate speech. And when she was just talking about hate speech, I was like, nah. But then when she said hate speech for her is any speech that is hateful, that incites violence. And I was like, okay, you and I are on the same page. I agree with Pam Bondi. So if it's something that puts other people's life, saying something that puts other people's lives in danger, then that's the line for me.
Calling somebody a neo-Nazi or schmatzi, sorry, excuse my language. Calling somebody that isn't dangerous, you don't think?
I think it's a fact if they're schnazi. If they're schnazi, they're schnazi. But again, I don't think that that's something that has put people's lives in danger. I mean,
it definitely has. We've seen Donald Trump almost get unalived twice. from hateful rhetoric.
Yeah,
and we have
by people that were on
complaints.
the
We have
right.
complaints of
They're literally
you don't
by people on the right.
People that are on the right don't donate to vote blue or act blue.
Yeah,
or
people they were registered
of that nature.
Republicans, literally registered Republicans. Also, like this is the thing: when you have actual Nazis marching down the street, wearing MAGA hats and swastikas, you have them going to Trump rallies with these flags and the Make America Great flag together and the Confederate flag. Like, let's not conflate this. Let's not pretend that there's not an infestation of Nazis within MAGA. Like there is. Like they're openly, outwardly showing that. Like they're outwardly doing it. So to call a spade is a spade. Like I'm sorry. Like they are. They're openly showing that.
Second host, what's up?
Mm-hmm. Guys, W's in the chat for cousin Jesse who sent $1 donation to say, Turning Point USA. Got it. Thank you. Also, W's in the chat for cousin Jesse who sent a $5 to say, Yankee, he only spent one semester at SUU. That's the school where the incident happened. Then he spent the next 3.5 years. He spent the next 3.5 years in electrician trade school at Dixie State. He wasn't indoctrinated at SUU. Stop the lies. W's in the chat for cousin Jesse. W's in the chat for Roxy, who sent $1 donation to the Pistachio Fund. Listen, Roxy, you know the weight of my heart. I appreciate you so freaking much. Also, W's in the chat for Barbara over on the tube, who just became a member. I appreciate you guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the tube, make sure you hit that like button, but you can support with the super chat and I will read that out. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. We're looking for some debates. I think Yankee.
Host,
Yankee,
I do gotta drop. I gotta go to that meeting. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me up there, man. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, feel free to come back at any point. Thank you. Guys, again, we are only looking for some debates. Only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We are not talking to friendlies, but if you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen. All right, let's get the likes up to 50,000 likes. And again, I'm going to keep resetting these little gift goals. If we can knock those out, that'll help as well. Is it Interpreter 51?
Hello?
Interpreter 51?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Are you a Trump supporter?
Hell no, you're the GOAT, Santana.
All right, I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We are only looking for some debates, guys. While I appreciate you so much, we definitely want to get some debates going. I'm trying to fix this flash goal thing. Like I don't know what's going on here. So there's that. Andrew, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Andrew, really quick, give me 1 second. Debbie's in the chat for Toads in My Eyes, who sent a $5 super chat to say, I've only been banned on Facebook once for posting pictures of MAGA people next to the Confederate and German flag back in 2016. Hate is one-sided. Yeah. I think that's so interesting as far as like the actual rhetoric and what's considered and what's not considered. So it's a lot. Anyway, Andrew, question for you.
Yes, sir.
As someone who is a Trump supporter, someone on the right, someone who is MAGA, how are you okay with giving up your First Amendment right?
I'm not 100% okay with that. But my question is how am I giving up my First Amendment right?
Yeah, sure. The way that you're giving up your First Amendment right is the fact that you're willing to not stand up for other people's First Amendment right, right? The everyone as a whole, right? Because this isn't, for me, this isn't an issue with left or right or whatever. This is an American issue.
So I got a question. Are we talking about the Jimmy Kimmel stuff?
Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, not only Jimmy Kimmel, right? But we can talk about Jimmy Kimmel, but also what they're doing to the United States troops. Like literally, there are 5 United States troops that have been placed on leave, and were specifically targeted by Pete Hegseth to actually find, him or find out if there were anyone that were actually saying anything negative about Charlie Kirk. We can talk about teachers as well, who are being pressured to actually say positive things. And if they don't say anything positive, then they could possibly be fired. Like, it's so much to it. It's so much
I don't
to it.
so much believe that they should have to say something positive, but I feel like what they're doing isn't 100% right. Either going out and celebrating somebody's death definitely ain't. That's definitely spreading a lot of hate. And let's just be honest, Charlie Kirk was a man of God. I'm not gonna lie, he had some beliefs that I didn't believe in, such as like abortion. I do believe in some abortion. Like, I don't think you should just be able to deport your baby because you lay down and have sex. Like, how is that the baby's fault? But
there's a lot to that. We can get into the AB topic in a second, but I want you to go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Now, I feel like there are some simulations to that. As far as like rape charges, like, I get there's people out there saying, well, what if you ain't ready? Well, then why'd you lay down? Well, I mean, everybody has that option,
Andrew,
right? Like, you don't have to lay down.
Really quick, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
How old am I? 28.
Mm-hmm. 28. All right. Andrew, is the primary function of sex to have kids?
No.
Okay.
But you know what you can do if you do. Like, when you lay down, you know what can happen, right?
Yeah, but the premise of it is not to actually procreate. It's, for other reasons. But regardless, consenting to engaging in coitus does not mean that you're consenting to reproduce, right? And even more than that, what is your premise based off of as far as like not agreeing with AB? Is it based off of like your religious beliefs? Is it based off of constitutional belief?
It's my religious belief. I believe that God, I'm not big on God. I've lost a lot of my religion. I've lost family members that kind of just made me like, okay, should I really believe in this or not? Because my honest opinion of like, okay, if God is real, and he wants you to be happy, right? Why would he take somebody important to you? Obviously life is going to happen. But my uncle, I lost my uncle when I was 9 years old. He was like a father to me. So I've been kind of fighting religion since I was 9 years old. But overall, I still believe in like the AB conversations when it comes to every life is precious.
Got it. So this is the thing about that, right? When it comes to
born in 1997, by the way, for the people who are saying that I can't be 28. I was born September 13th.
It's fine. I wasn't. That question wasn't for me to like age check you. It was just more so to get an understanding as far as like
I just seen the comment. That's why I was saying something.
Yeah. No, all good. So the point of that I want to make as far as like ABs, and I always start off saying this, in which we're two men talking about ABs, and so one, like, we don't have uteruses. Right, we don't have the ability to actually create life, right? We don't have the ability to actually carry said life and deliver said life, and we're not the ones that physically and mentally have to go through the burdens of childbirth, and we're also not the ones that have to mentally and physically go through the burdens of an AB, right? So us sitting here talking about that is like,
and I 100% agree with that. Like, and I've been looking at the comments as I'm sitting here talking too.
Yeah, you got to stop reading the comments. The comments can get wicked. You got to lock in up here with me because we can't keep having a conversation based off the comments. It's got to be me and you.
Well, I seen somebody say that it's because I like to control women. That is not. I don't want anybody to.
Okay, that's fine, but don't worry about the comments. Talk to me. To me. But what I was saying is, at the basic level, like at the very basic level, we always have to keep in mind that AB is healthcare, right?
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what people may think,
very expensive healthcare. I don't know why people would do it that way.
Exactly. The idea that women are just out here getting ABs all willy nilly, like that's not even practical. Like, who spends money like that? like not only the physical aspect of it, not only the mental aspect of it, but the financial aspect of it. That doesn't even make sense.
So
right?
What about the people who aren't even trying to, like, okay, so like I'm gonna bring this up as like a counter thing. What if they're not even trying? Like, what if they're not trying to protect themselves from that? They're just going down and laying down. Like, they're not on birth control. They're not trying to use condoms. They're not trying none of this stuff to prevent it. But when it happens, they're just like, oh, we're going to go get an abortion. Do you think
again,
that makes it okay, though?
I mean, my morality is shouldn't actually guide anyone else. Just something that I think is or is not okay should not be pertinent to like people moral decisions on a day-to-day basis. I'm not the arbiter of what's okay or what's not okay.
Right.
I mean, I have a moral compass, and I think people should be guided by their own moral compass as well. But what I will say is that, again, consenting to sex does not mean that you're consenting to reproduction.
Right.
Now,
and
the one thing that I want to get to
argument several times, and she brought that up, and I'm trying to be like more open about it. Like, that's like another reason why I'm like, okay, maybe, okay, I do see it from other people's point of view, but like from another belief, like I have to believe that everybody's life matters. Like at the end of the day, even if you're taking that kid, and I brought this up to her, I was like, there's other, and you brought up the whole body thing. I don't get that. I'm not a female. Like, I don't know the change of the body. Like, I don't know what it puts a female through. Like, do I know that? No, I'm a man. Like, I don't know what a female actually goes through.
A woman goes through.
And
yeah. So listen, hold on, because I still haven't gotten to my main point, because like, yes, you and I are, again, the reason why I kind of laid this framework is because you and I having this conversation around AB is kind of asinine, right? Because neither one of us, my personal opinion, the only stance that I've ever taken, and this is the same stance that I will continue to take, is I trust women to make decisions about their body. I've never once publicly said I agree nor disagree with ABs. I've always said it should be the woman's decision, right? Because again, my morality should not be forced upon anyone else. Now, with that being said, why not advocate for mandatory vasectomies?
I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't.
No, I'm talking about you.
Why not?
Because I advocate for mandatory vasectomies.
I have 3 kids, and honestly, if you want my honest opinion, me and my baby mama, we are no longer together. We had our kids when we were really young. I was 18. My girlfriend at the time, baby mama, she was 17. So, I mean, we were both really young. Now, did the god of abortion come, or AB come to terms? Yes, it did. We were really thinking about it because of the fact of we literally just got together. Like, we were together 6-7 months. And so, like, we weren't, like, together, like, it was kind of like an accident. Like,
you guys were young kids enjoying, you know, relations. That's understandable. But see, this is what I'm saying. This is why I advocate for mandatory vasectomies. Right there. You just said it. So the reason why I advocate for mandatory vasectomies is because, one, it's safe, it's effective, it's an outpatient surgery, it's a quick snip, and it's reversible. Vasectomies are safer than any form of birth control that a woman can be on, right? It's literally something that like women going through, whether it be you know, oral birth control, a shot, IUD, like literally the actual vasectomy is more not only effective but safe than all of those other things.
See, now you did bring up something that I honestly did not know. Like, I did not physically know those were reversible. Now, I thought once you
not only are they reversible, but up to 5 years, they're it's pretty much the same rate. I think it's like high 90-something% of reversible. And then after 5 years, it starts to decrease depending on the person, the body, like all this other stuff. But even more than that, I mean, if there's any type of worries, then, you know, you could always freeze sperm beforehand. So there's plenty of options as far as like what can be done and what other ways. But the point being, right, people tend to put the emphasis on women, right? women tend to put the emphasis on women, and you always say, oh, they laid down, they opened their legs and all this other stuff. But my premise is there's no way that you can make the baby without the batter, and the men are the one with the batter. And if you want to drive down ABs, then you specifically target the way that it's initiated. And again, mandatory vasectomies.
Now, but bringing that up, and this is and I might get some hate for saying this. Do you think, now we brought up the fact of women, it hurts the women's body, right? Like sorry, my nephew's going a little crazy.
No, you're good.
Now we did bring up the fact of like, it does affect the women's body. And I 100% agree with that. Like it does. Now, do you think the man should have to have some type of say in this? Because what if the woman wants it, right? But the man wants to keep the child? Because I mean, honestly, from a man's point.
Wait, say it again. You said, what if the man, if the woman doesn't, but the man wants to keep a child?
Yeah. Because like, let's just be honest. Let's say this is your first, let's say you got a wife, right? You were my age.
There's nothing that you're going to say that's going to change my mind. It's the woman's decision.
It's the woman's decision. Okay.
Regardless, right? And again, so this is why I say this, right? This is why I say this. This is why I believe that it's the woman's decision. And yes, I see certain people saying her body, her choice. I agree with that. But even more so, like, I don't know about you, but I'm the biggest baby when I get like cold, right? Like I can get the sniffles and I'm down for 48 to 72 business hours.
Swear. I can't even say that. I swear.
Yeah. So like women are closest to death when they are pregnant, right? The body changes in multiple ways, whether we're talking about the actual physical shift in their hips, their like bone structure, like the way that their pelvis opens up. And we can talk about the actual, postpartum things that a lot of different women experience, the overall physical aspect of being able to carry the child. Like there's so much to it. And so not only are women putting their lives on the line to have this child, they're putting their physical body on the line. They're putting their mental health on the line. Like there's so much to it that like I don't think that no matter how men would want a decision.
Thing, that's something that a man should be able to. And coming from a man that has had kids, a man from a man's perspective, he can help a female so much more.
Woman. When you say female, that can be anything like a cat, a giraffe, a parakeet.
Okay,
like, it's a woman.
A woman through anything. Like, let's just be honest. When you look at a relationship, a man is he's supposed to be the strong point. He's supposed to be his wife's shoulder to cry on, no matter what.
I disagree with that.
Savior, right?
I completely disagree with that.
You don't think like that's supposed to like shoulder to lean on type of thing?
No,
like I'm not gonna lie.
In a relationship, it has to be both parties.
50-50.
You can't just say this one party's responsible for this and one party's. You're in a relationship, like you're a unit.
But
whenever someone needs, the other person picks up. Like you're a unit. You're not individuals.
But so say you're at like a 20% of. I could really give part of my friends a fuck less today, right? Your wife, girlfriend, picks up that extra 80%, right? Because she picks it up. She's gonna help you, make you feel better. Now, isn't that the man's job to do the same thing when a female
it's the man and woman's job? You're a unit. There's no individual role. There's no saying that the man should be the one that the woman comes to and cry on, because when you do that, you perpetuate an actual misnomer that for some reason men don't need access to that emotional support as well, right?
Oh, I definitely.
Men need that, right? But I'm saying that there's a misnomer about that, and the chat's calling out as well. Got to get out of that female thing. It's woman. Like saying female is weird.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Also, let me just circle this back around. The one thing that I will say, and this is what I truly believe, I think it should be a conversation. If you're married or anything like that, and the woman wants to hear the perspective of the man that she's with or the man that got her impregnated, like I always welcome a conversation. I don't think that anything necessarily should always be like, oh, unilateral decision. So if women want to have the conversation, absolutely allow them to have the conversation. But my point being is the decision falls on the women, not on the men. So no matter if the man wants it and the woman doesn't, it's the woman's decision. And that's my point.
But do you think there should be some type of talking between that?
That's what the woman wants. If the woman says, I don't even want to talk about this, then there's nothing to talk about. You can't force yourself to you can't force yourself on someone and have them like do the thing that you want. So even if you can't just say, well, this has to be a conversation. No, it doesn't. Like it's the woman's decision.
I wasn't trying to put it that way. I was just saying like
no, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying I was giving an example.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like that one's just like a really hard one. That's one like I really have like problems with, like, because of like the left and the right. Like I know like that one's like a major topic, and that one's like one of the main things because like.
So let me say one other thing. I'm going to read two things off really quick, and then I got another way to think of. Wait, let me read two things off, and then I got another way I want you to think about this, because I feel like not only is mandatory vasectomies something that we should be advocating for, but there's something else. So give me half a second. W's in the chat for Eric. Eric sent a $5 super chat to say, you're the GOAT. Sorry for crashing your stream. It's all good. I appreciate you, friend. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Also, guys, W's in the chat for Devana. Devana sent a $5 donation to say, you're like one of the only men that I would fully trust to hold my drink. You shouldn't. I would drink it. I'm not even gonna hold you. You give me your drink, I'm gonna drink it. So there's that. But thank you so much for that, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. Andrew.
Yes, sir.
If you are quote unquote pro-life, right? If you want people to, have kids and not, go through the process of AB. I'm not even saying have kids,
but like.
Well, but just listen. Why not go through why not try to advocate for the policies that would make people want to have kids, right? Because the right often says like, oh, we're pro-life and we need to protect these lives and we need to make sure that people are having babies, but they're not actually addressing the reasons why people aren't having babies. And the people aren't having babies because it's unaffordable, right? Whether you talk about the housing market, the job market, the cost of living, you talk about the fact that healthcare is super expensive. There's no, paid paternity leave that's mandated on a federal level. Like there's school shootings that occur like almost every day now. They're taking away free lunch for kids. And so kids are literally starving. They're dismantling the Department of Education. So kids don't even get like IEPs, and they don't have proper levels of education. Like all of these things make people not want to have kids. So if you are someone that's on the right and you want people to have kids, then you should actually create an environment that would be more conducive to kids.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Now, I did hear about them taking the lunches. Now, coming from a kid who got free lunches because my family family was poor growing up. Like I literally, my mom would paycheck to paycheck. It was just me and my mom. My dad left. Like it was just me and my mom. So I don't 100% agree with everything Trump is doing. Now, I do agree with some things he's doing.
What do you agree with?
I agree with a lot of his like political, like world terms, like such as trying to get away from Israel. I feel like we've been under the boot of Israel for a while.
He's not though.
He was at the beginning.
Donald Trump literally greenlight multiple aid packages to Israel, and even bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Like he's done nothing but leaned in.
Yes, I seen that, and I 100% disagreed. Now I do want to clarify that I do not agree with that by any means. When he first said something about it, I was like, please, Lord, don't do this. Because you said in your whole speech was to end war, period. Like he wanted to be done with war by, I think it was a year, I think he said, within the first year of him being in office, which has not happened. Like we're almost in November. It's not going to happen. It's really not.
Right.
But on another means, is he trying and Russia just making it difficult for him?
Well, wait, you're switching from Israel to Russia, Ukraine now. Did you want to finish off the Israel point? Because I have more about that. Or did you want to just go ahead and move to Russia, Ukraine?
I mean, I just want to end war, period. Like, I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of all the hate. Like, I just really just want peace. Like, that's all. And that's what he preached about. And that's one of the main things that kept me as a Trump supporter in the first place, was the fact of Biden was willing to ship over and help Israel just willy-nilly. Like, it wasn't nothing. Like, his first thing that he did in office was get 13 Marines killed. I'm just like, that was the first thing that he did in office.
Yeah. Well,
and
so
I don't
first
agree with that.
First and foremost, like you can talk about the actual pullout, right? When it comes to the actual getting out of Afghanistan, he didn't get anyone unalive. The actual pullout was negotiated by Donald Trump, and there was a lot of misinformation and disinformation around that. But the thing that Donald Trump did not do was share the plans as far as being able to pull out of Afghanistan. And so by the time that Joe Biden had took over and Donald Trump didn't share the actual information as far as the pullout plans, and he had to try to get more information about it, the only thing that he could do was extend the timeline. And he pushed the timeline back from, I think it was May to like November or whatever the case may be. He moved it back a couple of months because he couldn't break the agreement. But like Trump did no favors and added to the loss of life and everything that occurred as far as the pullout in Afghanistan. Now, what's even more wicked about that is, have you heard what Donald Trump has been saying his stance is on Afghanistan now?
No, I have not.
Donald Trump wants to go back to Afghanistan. Donald Trump within the last couple of days is saying that he wants the Afghani or wants the Taliban to give back the Air Force base, and if they don't, then he wants to go back and take it.
I mean, we did leave. I mean, let's just be honest, though. We did leave a lot of. Now, I don't agree with that. So, first statement is, I do not agree with going back over there. That's his premise. Now, back in 2018, burning up. He did get us out of Afghanistan in 2018.
Why is he so adamant about going back? That doesn't make sense.
Now, the only thing that I could think of why he would want to go back is all the wet PPUs that we left there, all the planes, all the helicopters, all the...
that was always a part of the agreement. We were set to actually leave military equipment. Like literally, we made agreement to leave certain older military equipment for the Afghani government. Now, the issue is at the time, the Afghani government, when we made that agreement, they were in charge, and then the Taliban overran the Afghani government and took that equipment. So that's the problem. And then even more so, what actually occurred was that Donald Trump negotiated a deal. I want to say it was what was it, 3,000 or 5,000? He released thousands of Taliban members, which again helped overthrow the actual Afghani government, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was 5,000 with the Doha Agreement. Yes. And so like Donald Trump literally set them up for failure and contributed to what currently is in place in Afghanistan right now.
But do you 100% agree with us leaving all that money, all that resources, I guess would be the best word for that?
I do. I do. And the reason why I do though is because one, we made the agreement to do so. Right. That was the agreement to leave it for our allies that were currently in place. And then also, two, what happens when we leave that equipment, right, is one, we sell it to the government or we loan it, put like loans on it. And so they have to repay us. But then also, two, It saves us operational costs as far as like decommissioning, destroying, or returning the equipment back to the U.S. And then also 3, it gives us the opportunity to replenish our stockpile. So it allows us to actually offload older equipment and either create or buy new equipment. So it's always a positive in situations that's not, set up for failure, where like the government is somehow overthrown and all the equipment is taken.
So when we were giving, back during the Biden administration, when we were giving Israel all these pew-pews and can't really say pew-pews for missiles, but missiles.
Just say missiles.
Well, I know there's some viewers or streamers that are like, oh, don't say that. So I was trying to find like other ways to say
it's all good. We'll just see what happens at this point. So
guns and missiles and stuff like that. Like, I mean, did he ever get paid for it? Like, is that really was what it boils down to? Because from what everybody was saying, we never got paid for none of that.
Are you referring to, wait, you said Israel, did you mean Ukraine?
Yeah.
Or what are you talking about?
When we left everything there, did we ever get paid for any of it?
For which I'm so confused as far as what you're talking about, because you jumped
said that when
we started on Israel, you jumped to Ukraine. Right. We talked about Afghanistan, and you just said Israel. But which one are you talking about at this moment? I'm
going back to when you said that we had to, us leaving our weapons and everything there, it helps us reconstruct our everything. Did we ever get paid for that?
Do you know Afghanistan?
Yes, from Afghanistan. Did we ever get paid for any of that?
I would have to check and see what the agreement was. I didn't say necessarily that we were supposed to get paid from that. I said we did have an agreement to actually leave the equipment, but I was saying an example in situations where we do leave or sell equipment, those are the benefits for us doing so.
But the real question is, did we ever get anything back? Would be like, I get it. We were supposed, like, that was part of the terms. But if we're trying to earn money back and we're not earning no money, then what was the point of us leaving it there in the first place?
You do understand that our government is not supposed to, quote unquote, earn money, right?
I mean,
every year our government is supposed to completely walk into a new fiscal year with no money on the books.
So no fiscal money. Then how do we pay back our debts? Because we are $13 trillion in debt right now in the United States.
Well, we're more than that, but the
okay, last time I checked, we were at 13 trillion.
Yeah, we're way more than that, but the way that we do so is by our taxation, like literally the taxes that the United States citizens is supposed to fund our governmental systems.
So that's all of our taxes.
Yeah.
So how are we $13 billion in debt then? Because I mean, from everything that
it's way more than 13 billion. Our deficit is like 36 trillion.
Okay, then how are we 36 trillion in debt? My fault. And
it's because of discretionary spending. It's because of bad policies. It's because of things that continue to actually inflate the debt.
Now, when you say spendings, now would that consist of war too?
It consists of everything, but more so like these policies that are being passed. I'll give you one that you might have heard of, one that's like very recent, one that actually has impacts on everyone, no matter whether you know wanted to or not. The point being the Big Beautiful Bill. Right, the Big Beautiful Bill added extra $4 trillion, right? And it's something that is negatively impacting to all Americans. You can talk about Americans that lose access to their Medicaid or their SNAP benefits. You can talk about the kids that lose access to lunches at school, or you can just talk about like these additional 7 million people who are going to lose access to Affordable Care Act. And you can also talk about like everyday Americans who are going to see like their healthcare costs go up, right? I mean, like there's multiple pieces of legislation or policy or whatever that's passed that continues to increase our national debt and negatively impacts us.
So my question on the such as like food stamps, stuff like that, people going around now, do you think people lying, U.S. Americans lying and basically filing for something that they don't even really need in the first place? Because let's just be honest, there's a lot of fraud in the United States, especially when it comes to like medical, food stamps, stuff like that. Now, could that be, do you think that might have some say of like why they're trying to cut down on some of that? Because of the fact of like, we're having so many problems with the fraud. We're having so many problems with the, you don't?
The reason being is because while I do agree that there is some quote unquote fraud, it's minimal and it's the positive impacts outweigh the negative impacts or the quote unquote fraud. Also, you're talking to the wrong person when it comes to like SNAP benefits and its justification. I am someone who, early in my life as a young person, if it wasn't for like free school lunches and SNAP benefits, I would have been in a really bad place. Like,
I'm not saying neither would I, but there are people out there lying about it who are making more than what they're actually making.
I don't care. I mean, like, and the reason why I say I don't care is because food is a human basic need. Like, you got the wrong one with that. Like, I genuinely don't care. Like, if people need food, let them have food. Like, I'm not here to police people as far as their food. Now, like, yes, you have people that are greedy, that you have people that like to deal in excess. I mean, hell, that's why you have people like Elon Musk that exists, right? Because he's on pace to be the first ever trillionaire, but who the hell needs that much money? Like, that's my point. But when it comes to food, like I'm never gonna push.
And I'm not even saying like, and honestly, you want my honest opinion? Because technically, if you want to be honest, he's a MAGA. Charlie Kirk, he had all this money, right? He was a MAGA. Trump has all this money, right? He's a MAGA. All these MAGAs have all this money. Now, this is one thing that I do disagree with. You guys have all this money. We are in such debt. Why are you guys not doing better at helping? If you guys want to help the U.S. citizens, you all got all this money just sitting there, right? Like, you all just sitting on it. What?
Eat the rich.
Right. But in another meaning,
I don't think you know what that means.
What do you explain then?
I think it's super unethical that billionaires exist. I think it's super like that billionaires shouldn't exist. The fact that
there should never, no one person should have that much money.
Exactly. And again, going back to the fact that you have someone like Elon Musk who's on pace to be a trillionaire, where we have unhoused veterans walking around with no shoes in the same country. Like, it's so much. And then Donald Trump and the Republican Party just signed the bill, again, the BBB, that is going to have cause the largest wealth transfer in United States history, meaning the rich will continue to get even richer. Like, literally, under Donald Trump's presidency, first and second term now, Elon Musk has made more money than anyone else. Donald Trump has made a shit ton of money too, but like, literally, these billionaires continue to make money hand over fist. Donald Trump continues to lower their taxes, and we, the everyday Americans, continue to actually pay the brunt of what's being done. Like, we literally are footing the bill for their tax cuts.
Is that what you meant by let the rich get richer?
Yeah, Donald Trump is letting the rich get richer, but I said eat the rich. Eat the rich means like tax them more, like make them responsible. I mean, like, it's a lot to it, but think about it. The most profitable time in our history, in which Donald Trump will lie about when it was, but the best time in United States history was after World War II, after the Great Depression, when
I was about to say it was right after the Cold War, wasn't it?
No, it was after the Great Depression when the corporate tax rate and the tax rate on the wealthy was the highest that it ever was in our country, and it created the strongest middle class that we ever had, and the rich people still had money. It's just that there was more of a distribution of wealth. But this administration, the right wing, like they're doing things to not only strip away wealth from common people, but literally they're trying to increase the working class. And when I say that, they're currently discussing increasing the retirement age. So you have to be older to be able to retire. They're looking at reducing the minimum wage to start working, right? Or minimum age to start working. They're literally trying to force more of a working class to actually pay for these billionaires and their tax cuts.
See, I did not hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I did not. That was good information. Yeah, I did not know that he was doing that. So what I do have a question. He did sign that one bill about overtime. What does that
tax on tip, no tax on overtime?
Yes. Doesn't that
it's in the BBB.
It's in the BBB. Now, doesn't that help working class Americans?
Not really. The reason being is because there's a cap on it. I think it's 25,000 for couples. Like, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's a very low amount. It's a tax write-off at the end, so it's not like something that you get the amount up front. It's like something that you can write off at the end, and there's a cap on it. And then even more than that, they only instituted it for 3 years, 2 years, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. So it starts in 2026 and it goes until 2028. Yeah, I think individual is 1,200, couples is 25,000. And so like they cap it, they put a cap on the amount, they put a cap on the years. Like there's so much to it. Like I do think that that's something beneficial, but like it literally, you know what it is? It's like someone has a whole meal, right? They cooked a whole meal and they got, chicken, mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese and collard greens and cornbread and like sweet tea and all this other stuff. And, they got some strawberry shortcake for dessert and, all this stuff. And then you walk up and you're like, oh, I'm hungry. And they give you like a slice of bread and they keep their whole meal to eat. And you get a slice of bread. Now, they didn't say that, oh, you got nothing, because technically you got the slice of bread. But when you compare what they have to exactly, and not only are you not getting as much, like that slice of bread isn't going to hold you.
Right, right. See, I thought when I first read it and how it seemed to me when I read it. Now, I'm not big into politics. I try to stay out of it. For the most part, but I do try to follow it the best of my abilities. So I'm not like the smartest when it comes to politics. So I do jump on the lives and stuff like that to learn stuff. Like I do be listening to, I've seen you on TikTok before. I followed Parker. I follow a lot of people, and a lot of them are left-wing people because I do want to get more of like that other side of like, okay, what are you guys like? What are your perspectives on it?
Yeah.
So, and honestly, if that's how it's put, and I misread it then because I thought that was helping the American people a lot more than what it actually seems to be helping us.
No, I mean, and so it was such a emphasis on this. This is the problem, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, actually, let me read these two off real quick, and then I want to tell you something. W's in the chat for Carol. Carol sent a $20 super chat to say, "Hey Santana, I get off work early and I'm finally able to catch your live. Hope you're having a great day." I'm having a wonderful day. Thank you so much, and thank you for the $20 super chat. And W's in the chat for Joel. Joel sent a $5 donation to say, "Keep pounding, huge Panther win." Listen, fucking shut out the Falcons. You know how we do. W's in the chat for Joel. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so.
Sorry. You know what I mean?
Sorry? Oh, if you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the tube and you'd like to send a super chat, I will read that out. Also, guys, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. Get in the box. We're looking for some debates. If you are not a Trump supporter, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live. Can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the little heart fingers. Can we knock those out? Also, guys, this is the backup account. If you look up at the top and you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Go ahead and hit that follow button because this is the backup account. We will be back on the main account tonight for late nights. So if you want to actually join the conversation, get ready, get locked in because we have late nights tonight. Andrew.
Yes, sir.
The one thing that I want to this is the problem that I have, right? When people before the election thought that like this was a competition, like this was a sports competition. People thought for some reason that this was a scenario where it was left versus right, blue versus red. And we warned like the Republican Party, right, like MAGA on multiple things. And we talked about, you know, them passing additional tax cuts is going to completely disenfranchise people. But we also told them about like Project 2025. And hell, Kamala Harris like literally warned people like the things that Donald Trump was going to do, including turning the military on United States citizens. And we were told that we were fear mongering. We were told that we were lying. We were told that, you know, Donald Trump knows nothing about Project 2025. And like all of these things end up happening. And the problem that I have is like when people have tried to actually educate others or get or share information or like say like, hey, voting for Kamala Harris, no matter what your position is on, you know, what's happening with the innocent Palestinians in Gaza, like vote for harm reduction. And people either said, oh, you guys are lying, or no, I don't give a shit, or whatever the case may be. And now everybody's suffering together. And like, that's where we are. Like everyone is hurting together now. And it's a bad thing.
So would you say, because I've seen this comment in the box, bringing up the military turning on people, would you say turning the military on criminals and making people safe? So I wouldn't really say like we're turning the, like, would you say we're turning the military on people, or would you say we're defending the country?
No. Donald Trump has turned the National Guard into a personal police force. Donald Trump has violated, I can't say the Latin term, post comitatus or whatever. Like,
because you know more about because you've already proven that you know more about like when it comes down to our laws and stuff. Now, isn't there a law? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a law if basically our city police department and or state police department cannot handle it? There are reasons to bring in military into the cities.
Yeah, I mean, there are reasons to actually send in the National Guard if certain things can't be handled. But again, that's actually done through the governors, right? And you can look specifically at like California, where Gavin Newsom was like, no, we don't want the United States to send the military in. Right?
But would you say that he couldn't control what was going on in California? Because let's just be honest, there was a lot going on in Cali.
No, that's not true.
You want my honest opinion? He wasn't controlling and doing a very good job.
Like literally, this is the thing. When Donald Trump mobilized the National Guard and sent them to California, before they had even left and got into California, he tweeted out that it was such a great job and like crime is down and all this other stuff. That's because literally LAPD and in conjunction with what was happening with the efforts across California had ensured that there were peaceful protests, right? There were certain areas where, yes, there may have been some cars on fire or whatever the case may be, but it was people were being antagonized by ICE patrol. And Donald Trump sending the military into LA caused more of an actual issue. And then even like he mobilized the Marines and sent the Marines into LA, and all they could do was quote unquote protect the federal buildings, which is like wild. So I say all that to say, like, Donald Trump has inflamed the actual, what's
you think
happening.
He did that for a reason, though? Because I mean, let's just be honest. We wouldn't want to. I live in Kentucky. I would not. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to see Marines walking any streets, like just walking up and down streets, just carrying guns, period, through my city.
Yeah.
Now,
Donald Trump is doing that for intimidation.
But he didn't have them walking around the streets. He just had them protecting government buildings. Now,
right now in DC, they're walking the streets in serpentine patterns, and they have now signed an order that allows them to carry firearms as well. So they're walking around DC with weapons, and they don't have anything to do. And so since they don't have anything to do, they start to force them to pick up trash. Like literally, there's so much harmful things that are rolled into what Donald Trump is doing.
And as far as because I heard you bring up the ICE raids too, I'm very middle-lined with that. Now I agree with illegals getting undocumented, being deported back to Mexico. But if you were born in the United States, such as if your parents are from originally Mexico and they came to the United States and you were born in the United States, your parents had you in the United States, you are an American. Now I want to make sure we agree on this term. You are an American.
I mean, we agree, but Donald Trump doesn't. Donald Trump is trying to end birthright citizenship. Donald Trump is trying, not only is he trying to end birthright citizenship, he's trying to find a way to denaturalize people.
When did he change that? Because when he first started doing all that, when he started going into California, when he started going into, I'm pretty sure it was Nevada or was it Nevada or Utah that he went into this big building and he deported thousands. I mean thousands. It was and they ended up having to shut down their business because of the fact of most of their.
You're talking about Georgia when they went into the Hyundai plant? Yeah.
It might have been Georgia.
Donald Trump screwed us.
I thought it was out west, though.
No, Donald Trump screwed us. Yeah, they did an ICE raid on the Hyundai facility in Georgia and arrested, I think, like 600 something people. And out of that 600 something people, over 400 something people were South Korean workers that were here on like work visas for Hyundai to help get the plant and the facility up and running. And this was after Donald Trump begged other countries to invest in the United States. South Korea said, okay, we're going to invest in the US. And then he did that, or they pulled the ICE raids. And so since the ICE raids occurred, Hyundai has now officially said that they're pulling out of that deal. Like that cost us so much money because they literally arrested South Koreans.
I don't think that's the one I was talking about, but that one is nice to know. I didn't even know about that one. Like I didn't even hear about that one. Because if he did that, that's really wrong. Like if you're asking people to come and help us and then you're going to deport them when basically they're just useless at that point. Like once they do their job, I hate to put it that way, but basically once you're done doing your job, we're just going to be done with you. You don't get to come, you don't get to stay. You just got to wait. Like that's kind of messed up.
Yeah. I mean, but that's how Donald Trump does business. So, I mean, like, that's the problem.
There was a raid out west that I seen and heard of. I'm not 100% sure where, but like 2,000 Mexicans got deported. Now,
when? Under this Trump administration?
Yes, it was recent.
You would have to show me that. Donald Trump literally is deporting at a lower rate than Joe Biden. Like they can't actually deport people. And honestly, I don't think they're trying to deport people, right? I mean, that's why they're building these concentration camps throughout the US is because they're not really interested in deportations. They're interested in free labor. I mean, that's why Donald Trump has even hinted at the idea of like slavery for undocumented immigrants to farmers. Like it's wild. I can't hear you while you're teacup.
My fault.
You're good.
I was trying to find what state that was in. Can you show me that?
Show you what?
Where he's trying to make Mexicans into slaves across for farmers.
Yeah. You can go look it up. It was him talking about the responsibilities of farmers and just how saying that undocumented immigrants, they wouldn't deport them. They would just make them the farmers' responsibilities, and they would have to adhere to what the farmers would say. So it was the premise that, gosh, what was the term that he used? Damn it. There was a specific term that he kept using, and he didn't call it slavery, but he was using like something opportunity or something.
He used it basically as a term. He didn't use that term, but he hinted at it.
Yeah. Owner responsibility. I think that might have been it, but yeah. But anyway, like he said that they're not giving them citizenship. They will continue to be undocumented, but if they do anything that the farmers don't like, then they could be deported. So it was to it.
I did not hear about that by any means. I do not agree with any type of slavery. I don't believe in, because I know there's other slaveries going across, like out in the European countries and stuff like that.
We still have slavery here.
What would your definition of slavery be?
Prison slave labor. We have prison slave labor.
So you mean just like everyday prisoners, like in prisons and jails?
Yeah, I mean that's free labor. That's why prison systems in the United States is privatized, and also they don't focus on reform. They just focus on punishment, and they use them to exploit them.
Okay, I don't know how 100% true that is, because my dad's been in prison. I'm not gonna lie, my dad's been in prison a lot, and he went through that on his last term that he was in there.
You said he's been in prison a lot?
He was before I turned.
You mean in and out of prison, right?
Yeah, I mean, not recently. No, it's been about.
No. I'm just trying to actually understand the premise. So him being in and out of prison, that literally goes to what I'm saying, right? Because again, it's not about reforming people. It's not about giving them, opportunity to be better. It's literally about getting them in, getting free labor, putting them out on the street, and then getting them back for free labor again. Like that's literally what's happening.
But he hasn't been back in 10 to 15 years, though. Like wouldn't you say? I mean, he obviously rehabilitated himself. He's doing good. He's a truck driver. He's doing great.
Yeah, I'm not saying that people don't actually learn from their mistakes and they don't take responsibility and guide themselves. What I'm telling you is that the prison system within the United States is not like other Scandinavian prison systems that actually focus on reform. The United States focuses on punishment and free labor. That's it.
But
they don't try to, if you want to reform, you can reform yourself, but they don't try to actually help anyone with reforming them.
But the thing is, if you're in prison, okay, you get 3 free meals a day, right? Like you did something bad, you get 3 free meals.
I mean, sure.
I mean, let's just be honest. It ain't the best food. I've been in jail. I've been in jail myself. It's not the best food. But you still get 3 free meals a day. You get a bed to sleep on. I mean, it isn't obviously the best conditions because, I mean, why would you have the best conditions? You did something bad. You're not just going to have the best conditions. Now, you're telling me that you shouldn't have to work while you're in there? I mean, you got to be able to pay.
The point that I'm making is the prison system, if you take a look at other prison systems that are in other quote unquote developed nations, they aren't focusing on punishment. They're focusing on rehabilitation and re-implementation into society. The prison systems here in the United States does none of that. The only thing that the prison systems here in the United States does is capitalize on free labor and focus on punishment. That's the point.
I can tell you 5 countries right now that don't do none of that. And they're the 5 major countries that we're fighting with. Like they'd rather just kill you than, I mean, let's just be honest. They would unalive you before.
Yeah, but that's fine. But when you talk about, I mean, again, you can look at other quote unquote developed nations, ones that are like, Swedish or Danish, like other developed countries that actually have the premise of them actually reforming people and not just punishing people. And that's the point. I'm not talking about, oh, these other large countries like Venezuela or, you know, whatever. And like,
but there's a lot of Americans that are hating America, right? But we do have a lot of like benefits. Let's just be honest.
But what does that have to do with the prison system?
Because I mean, let's just be honest. We can talk. We have. I mean, everybody wants to say we don't have freedom of speech, but let's just be honest. We all have freedom of speech. Now, do we have consequences for our freedom of speech?
But that's the thing. Like, literally, this administration is trying to strip away our freedom of speech. Whether you talk about burning the flag, whether you talk about them deporting people who protest against what Israel is doing, like, they're literally actively trying to strip away our freedom of speech. That's what this is all about.
But you can't really, I mean, but they're not. They're saying, like, going back to the whole thing that you brought up when I first came into the live. Let's talk about the school teachers and everything like that. You have freedom of speech. Does not mean that you do not have consequences to your freedom of speech. Now, you are raising our kids. Now, if you're like you're big on a platform. You got people who watch you every day. Now, if you came in and was just gladly talking about, oh, Charlie Kirk's dead, yada, 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 like some people were promoting it, being happy about it. Do you agree with them not losing their jobs? Because I mean,
yes, I agree. I don't care if people say that they're happy about him losing his life or whatever like that.
His kids, like, that doesn't. Like, I mean, have to.
Like, when I tell you, I don't think that people should lose their jobs for saying that, like, making jokes or being happy about, you know, a fascist no longer, or fascist or racist, you know, someone who actively harmed the queer community not being here like that. No, I don't think people should lose their jobs on that. But we're getting kind of far away, and I think Erica wanted to talk to you about something. What up, E?
Hey, bro. Hi, Andrew. I wanted to talk to you about the prison system here in the United States, because Santana was, he mentioned it briefly, but slavery does still exist here in the United States. How familiar with the 13th Amendment are you?
Again, I don't read up on all this. Like, I really don't.
Not really.
Okay,
really
all right. Okay, so
like, I'm not big into politics. I'm really not.
Well, I will just say that as an American, I definitely would suggest that you do know your Constitution. If nothing else, know your Constitution, because those are the rights in which you have been granted by the government, and you want to know them so you can know how to utilize them.
The two major ones is freedom of speech and I have the rights to bear arms. Like, I know the two major ones. I don't like.
You should know all of your constitutional rights.
You might want to know. Yeah. Yeah. But with that said, I'll just read it for you. So the 13th Amendment reads as, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction.
Now,
did you hear the main word?
Convicted, though.
No, but did you hear the main word in there?
The
qualifying word? Yeah, no. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime.
It's not acceptable for punishment of crime.
No, except as except. E-X-C-E-P-T.
Sorry, it seemed like it cut out every time that you went to say it.
No, it's okay, love. All right. So basically, what that means is, in the United States, if you commit a crime and you are found to be guilty, so you are convicted, then that means that you, in fact, can basically be a slave within the states. Are you familiar with farm prison labor or even Angola prison? Have you heard of that one?
Kinda, yes. That one I have heard of.
I have my AirPod on, so we're good. Angola prison is actually one of the most notorious prisons in the United States of America. It used to be a plantation down there in Louisiana. Until it was purchased in I think it was like the 1850s. it was purchased and started to be used as a prison. And then like in the 1860s, once Black people fought for their freedom and obtained it, that's when they started with the Black codes and all that awful stuff. And they started imprisoning Black people at Angola. And what they did was they forced Black people to actually work in the fields and work the railways, the chain gang. You ever heard of the chain gang?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be Angola. And so it was so bad. And so it was basically legalized slavery once again, because only the Black prisoners, which the majority of the population was after 1865, worked the fields, worked outside, whereas the white prisoners worked inside as like clerks. And also the entire workforce at Angola was white. They didn't have any Black correctional officers or anything of that nature. So it was legalized slavery after the abolishment, and I use air quotes when I say that, of slavery. And it still exists to this day.
But what
W's in the chat for Just Alpha, who sent a $5 super chat to say, caller, you need to realize this. Trump and Pete Hegseth are DOXing and firing people, soldiers, for criticizing who Kirk was, not celebrating this. That's a great point. Like there's a lot behind that. And it's absolutely horrible. W's in the chat for Just Alpha. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, and all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated over on the YouTube. You can send a super chat. And as long as Erica's hanging out here, make sure we're taking care of Erica. Go ahead and make sure we gift her. There's 530 people hanging out here. Let's make sure we get Erica at least over 2,000 coins, not 1,000, two, not one, but two. And also show her some love in her pay links, right? Everything with Erica. I'm sure somebody can, buy her lunch or like a ham and cheese sandwich or something. I don't know. Do something nice. Anyway, go ahead, E.
All right, thanks, bro. So just to bring it full circle, so not to get stuck on a history lesson, Andrew, again, it says except as punishment for a crime. So in the United States of America, when it comes to undocumented immigrants, all right, is not necessarily a crime in which they'll go before a criminal court to receive like a conviction and then a sentence. Right, it's an immigration matter. So they'll go before an immigration judge. They will see a judge there. If they are found like liable, they'll get their fine, and then they'll maybe do like a month or so in a jail, not a prison, because there's a difference.
Right.
What Donald Trump is trying to do is criminalize immigration into the United States of America, and in criminalizing it, what he can do is then
put them in prison.
Yeah, put them in prisons, and then he can use them for labor, for free labor, to be exact.
So basically what he's trying to do is, instead of letting them sit in jail and basically just sit there, he's trying to put it to where it's free labor for the United States.
Yes, they can work they can work the farms like prisoners do now, like American prisoners do now in the States.
Quote me if I'm wrong on this, but doesn't prisoners...
correct me.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't prisoners make money?
No, not all prisoners make money. So like states like Louisiana, North Carolina, I believe South Carolina, even Florida. So it's a lot of states within the South, and it's a few Midwest states that do it. But no, especially on farm prisons. So they don't make any money. They work for free. They don't, no money whatsoever.
See, I didn't think like they got actual money though. Like it wasn't like, oh, you're working today, I'm gonna give you $50. I knew it wasn't like that, but it's normally commissary, right?
No, it's not commissary. No. So because my stepdad, well, my dad too, damn. But yeah, so, but my dad served time in prison, and he had a job in prison as a telemarketer because that was a contract with a private business. All right, he was paid a nominal amount, super small amount. So when they have their contracts with these private businesses like Walmart, Costco, AT&T, so on and so forth, they do get paid for that, and it's small. It's like maybe 30 cents an hour, $1 an hour. It's a really small amount because you
Very
can't pay
small
them.
amount.
Yeah, you can't actually pay them a livable wage or even minimum wage to these prisoners because it would cost the private prison system way too much money to do so.
Yeah.
So,
see,
yeah.
I thought they were. See, like I didn't think like they paid them obviously good. Like obviously they wouldn't give them $50 for working a whole day or even just 5 hours. Like obviously you're not going to get that type of money. Now, did I think they were doing them a little bit better than that? Yes. I figured they were making I figured they were making, now this is going to still sound horrible because of what, I mean, compared to what I make, this is horrible. I could not live off of this by any means. I wouldn't even be able to pay child support with this. But I figured they make like $2 to $3 an hour just doing like picking up trash. Like, because like I'll be seeing prisoners pick up trash on the side of the road, on the highway, stuff like that. Just, I mean, I've seen
depending on the state that they live in, the ones that you see picking up trash on the side of the road aren't getting paid for that, depending on the state in which they live in. So
like,
again, the only time that
workers, nothing, none of them.
The only time that they like, again, it depends on the state.
Some of them are even firefighters for free, and then when they get out, they can't even transfer that job skill.
Exactly, that's true.
Whoa.
I think it's over 30% of the wildfire workforce in the state of California are prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, Debbie's in the chat for Kylene. Kylene sent a $5 donation. Say, for your labor, love from your anti-Zionist Jew on Jewish New Year. Thank you so much for that, and happy Jewish New Year to you. Debbie's in the chat for
wild.
But that's a wild name, bro.
No, I'm reading some of the comments. There was one that says, pull me up. I will speak about my personal experience making 80 cents a day and working 8 hours a day.
Yeah, no. Debbie's in the chat for Rodrigo, who sent $1.60 super chat to say, fun fact, Michael Jackson made a song for Palestine. Yeah, wait, what's the name of the song? Or no, they didn't put it out. I know what you're talking about. I'd have to go back and look that up, but I saw
Michael Jackson made a song about it?
Yeah, he did.
I did not know that.
He did. I don't think they put it out or something like that. Anyway, Debbie's in the chat, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're over on the tube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. And again, take care of Erica. Guys, I said 2,000 coins, not 200. Can we please go ahead and take care of Erica, especially she's up here educating the masses. Make sure we're taking care of her. You said you have something from Read Off E?
Yeah, yes. You read that message wrong also. I was like, what? Thank you, Kaylin. I'm going to read it. Thank you, Kaylin, so much for the $5. Kaylin said, for your labor, love from your anti-Zionist Jew on the Jewish New Year. It didn't sound like you said that.
Yeah, I said anti-Zionist Jew on Jewish New Year.
Okay, happy Jewish New Year, love.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the anti part from you.
I did not know that. Today's the Jewish New Year?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. Happy New Year. Now, what about the whole Russia? Like, let's talk about that for a second. Because
no.
You don't want to talk about that?
Anything else for Andrew?
No, I don't have anything else. I think I can go take I don't know.
Yeah. I appreciate it. But Andrew, no, we gotta cut this here. I appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate you talking to me today, sir. I appreciate that. I hope you guys have a rest of your day. Thank you, E, for educating me a little bit more on the prison system. I really appreciate that.
Oh, there's no worries. But you have to call me Erica, but thank you.
Oh, my fault.
No worries, Andrew. Have a great day.
Going with names here. Like I didn't read it.
Yep. I gotta go.
That's fun.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty good.
All right.
W's in the chat for Jonna. I love how you always. I appreciate you so much for always putting it at the end, because now I know to look at the end before I say your name. W's in the chat for Jonna, who sent a $5 super chat to say, I sent $10 and I don't know why it didn't show up. You sent to me? I don't know. Oh, a super chat? I'm so confused. I don't know, but thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Or thanks for the super chat. Go live.
Oh no, I'm gonna go take a nap.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right, guys. I got to skedaddle. This is the backup, though, right here. Look up at the top. If it says follow, you're not following this account. This is the backup. Follow the backup. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Follow the backup. Also, guys, we are going to be live tonight for late nights. Late nights is back tonight. It will start at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. We have like a 30-minute rain delay. Normally we start at the top of the hour, but we're going to be starting half past the hour. It's going to be a panel discussion. I won't give out what the panel discussion is about tonight, but it's going to be really good. And so if you're interested in joining the conversation, everyone is welcome on late night. So you don't have to be a quote unquote op. Everyone gets an opportunity to actually join the panel and join the conversation. So we will be on the main account for late night. So you can follow this account and I'll make sure that you guys get there, but also follow the main account as well. So yeah, anyway, got to get out of here, guys. Let us take off. I got this little, hold on. So I have this little thing right here, right? It's like for this, it's like a smell good. And I have it propped up right here, but then the smoke blows out and I don't want it to be like, look like, smoke on the screen or whatever. And so every time it comes up, I have to like fan it away. So yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, it's going to be 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific, late nights. Also, we might be doing something fun this weekend, so I'll let you guys know. Anyway, let's get out of here.
You stepped in the box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game.
Hey, guys. That was fun. It was just a quick midday spar. I really enjoyed it. It was absolutely wonderful. Good to be back. I can't wait until we get back into the flow of things tonight with late nights. So if you're available, make sure you come and join us for late nights because it's going to be an absolute barn burner. I got some great stuff lined up with some great people. And so if you want to actually join the conversation, make sure that you're available, right? Because everyone gets an opportunity to get on the panel. Anyway, guys, thank you for everything. Thank you all for being amazing. Thank you for all the likes, the taps, the gifts, the shares. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such an amazing community. I mean that so much. Without you, there's no way that I could do what I do. I love you all so much. I will see you all later.